And welcome back to another episode of the Pillars of Man podcast. And we back at it for all my weebs at heart. We doing another anime deep dive. This one is aimed at the masculine, super dope. This young man right here, he's literally 15, super fresh, super fire, Yuji Itadori. Am I saying that correctly? Versus Sukuna. Oh boy. Sukuna being this ultimate freaking douchebag. This guy is the epitome of awful. He's actually such a troll too. Because, and of course, you are going to you're asking for it if you are vibing with me today, bro. But there's a lot of this is personal interpretation. And it seems to me Sukuna loves it. He enjoys the drama of Yuji's life because that's kind of what he does. He's big, chilling, posted up. He's not going anywhere, and he's inside Yuji watching everything. And he knows it, right? He does that. He's just the nonchalant pose on the throne, right? You know that's how guys do. That's like Sukuna's natural position, and he's just like watching all the moves, all the decisions, and the choices that Yuji is making in real time to combat evil and demons. No, in this world, curses. And in an attempt to restore balance, make sure innocents get to live normal lives, go about their existences in the most peaceful manner possible. It's a little bit difficult when you have these crazy, they're so blobby. As you know, it's an interesting enemy design in this anime universe. They're also what is that Pokemon that I'm thinking of right now that's made of mud? I mean, they're not all like this. Like Mahito is very human like. His own, he got the fit and everything. I hate Mahito too. Maybe I can get to him. And then when you get to the higher grade curses, they are taking on more fleshed out, more detailed forms. But just so many of them in the basic grade are just so blobby. Sukuna, of course, it as the writers, as the creators of this anime, they had to give Yuji the ultimate one right off the bat. What is leaping into him and possessing him? Oh, wait, correction. It wasn't a possession, it was an acceptance. Yuji had to do it in order to save Megumi. Okay. But fatefully, how he would end up saving his boy is by allowing the king. This is not like, a particularly bad tempered curse. This is the king of curses, the lord of malevolence himself. This is like the ultimate baddie. And when I relate that into, I had to do it, into our modern male struggle today, in a 21st century society, I will use a developed country like the US. How, where is the link between what's going on with Yuji in his world and you and me? Is because I believe there is a conspiracy. So I am going to be putting on my tinfoil hat now. But this tinfoil hat has to be made out of literally spiritual essence. Okay. I'm going super weeb today because you are going, it's inevitable. I highly recommend that it happens sooner than later. So this is a fight that you should look for. I am highly recommending that you do this for yourself in a more philosophical and psychological term. And this one's broader that more people are familiar with, but it is the famously coined by the king Carl Jung himself, shadow work. Yes, bro, you definitely need it. Because in order to self improve, and more importantly than that, I believe the road of self improvement, what it leads to is the process of self discovery. You go deeply enough with discovery in your inner world, you are going to self actualize. It's this becoming the greatest version of yourself possible. Very unique, very custom tailored to the individual man willing to embark on this journey into the darkest parts of himself. Hence, shadow work. You have to do this. On a more surface level, if you are new here at the Pillars of Man podcast, everything I do is dedicated to helping guys self improve. You get better, everything else does. It's not really your life, though your life will follow suit. It is the man. It's you, bro. You got the juice. You got, you know, you are big pimpin', okay? In other words, you got this, you are the boss. And so naturally, your outcomes, your experiences, your bank account, your relationships, how in shape you are, your health is all going to be directly tied to how you govern the control of your mind, your body, and your soul. If only it were that easy. If only men could acknowledge I need to take responsibility in life and I'm good. I got it. I just need to make sure I continue to make the correct decision. Isn't that what it all boils down to? You with me on that, bro? On a daily basis, you're waking up to a whole bunch of choices. You're waking up to a whole lot of yes or no, left or right, this or that. And you're just trying to pick there's always two, you're trying to pick the right one. I can wake up earlier or I can wake up later. I can go to the gym or I cannot go. I can go for the Big Mac. I can go for the salad. These are very, very, very surface level. And in order to really contend with those decisions and stand a fighting chance, then you're fighting glorious combat, always, always glorious combat with laziness, with procrastination, motivation, mm, instant gratification. We got, pleasure. We got comfort. We got familiarity, the known versus the unknown. This is all at a certain level. Even if you would say, I don't do any kind of self improvement in my life, though, hey, if you're here, you're definitely interested. Or if not interested, you're looking for a better life. You don't even have to call it self improvement. But let me strip this down to the most bare bones example possible. Bro, just for you to survive on a daily basis, you are making good choices. Okay, fair enough. Now, when you're talking about basic survival, then yes, you do have quite the incentive as you are driven by biological and instinctual desires to do well in life. If you are alive, you're doing well. Now, you might debate me on that. You might be like, yeah, but you don't have my life. You doing your thing, Kumo. Good for you. If you had mine, I don't know if you'd be enjoying it as much. I'm gonna have to fight you right there, bro. I would never fight you. I don't know. I'm not even looking for that smoke. But I am going to wrestle with you though, because you may not be enjoying the quality of your life today as you are existing right now. That has no bearings on how you are able to enjoy it. You can. You can move into a much higher level of enjoyment. The way that you do that is you have to acknowledge the parts of yourself that you must fight in the same way Yuji does. He knows It's just so crazy. They animate these characters like just full grown adults. So it's a bit of a flashbang when you realize he is a sophomore in high school. That's pretty crazy. And he's still young king and he's still rocking with that burden on his shoulders, right? Straight up, backpacking it. He knows if he loses control, like if he lets this thing, this, I mean, you saw what I saw, okay? Those facial expressions on Sukuna are wild. It, the glee, the delight, how much he really loves, you know, suffering and making others miserable, causing pain, causing despair, agony, and anguish. Does that not sound quite familiar to another one who fell long, long ago because he dared to rebel against God? It's the same thing. You can call this whatever you want. I'm a Christian, so I of course I'm going to attribute this to Satan. But if we don't share the same faith, it's all good. You are not exempt. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be spiritual. Bro, this evil is still coming for you. It's still going to happen to you. It's a I see this as a natural law of existence for having been born into the human experience. Part of the human experience, like half of it, I don't. I'm just literally making a wild claim right there. I by no means do I know the actual percentage portion of good and evil in the universe, but okay, whatever. You gotta work with me, brother. Let's do 50-50. And so if it's 50%, that's a lot. Half the universe, that's quite substantial. And half of that is all of this. Oh my god, it's awful. It's really awful. It's like just I don't know, like just awful, just terrible, terrible things. I mean, you think of it, it's difficult. I'm on YouTube right now and I'm trying to stay on YouTube for the time being. So you're gonna have to help me. And you think of the worst things you can think of. That is the half of evil, of what is wrong, of what is not okay. This is incorrect is not a good word. This is just bad. And you are fighting against that as a human being in your own life. Because, yes, our instincts are going to push us to survive, mate, eat, drink, sleep. Okay. But that doesn't mean you have to listen. And I think that kind of breaks open the can of worms of very extreme physical, you know, physical and mental illness. In a normal case, for just your average everyday bro, he's going to do those things just fine. And that's great. That's still him operating off of I I do want shelter, I do want running water and electricity, I do want warm meals, and I do want clothes and all that. So with bare necessities taken care of, that's going to put him into a position of what else? What else is there for choices that I can make? And that's maybe where the first fight really begins to appear in a man's life, especially nowadays. It's when you're grown. So obviously you're not doing anything illegal, but 18 and up. 18 and up, the world really we'll do 21 and up. Okay? That's like full access now. So 21 and up in the States. And legally speaking, within the parameters of what is allowed according to American law, what do you want for an experience? What do you desire? what are you trying to do with your free time? And it's in that free time the fight begins where, well, why don't you consume? Why don't you scroll? Why don't you just numb out? Why don't you check out? Why don't you just not care? Why don't you just let it burn? Why don't you just, lie down? Okay? Whatever you want to call it, brain rot, couch rot. You don't even have to, if it gets really bad, it is appropriate, I have to say. But we don't have to make it that extreme. I absolutely wind down like that as well. Clearly, I love anime. I think I binged the entire second season of Jujutsu Kaisen. And games and entertainment and whatnot. But when it's all that, when it's nothing but, and it's literally destroying your life, it is literally eroding all of your opportunities and your chances to self-actualize, to be the best you. Because it's the best you that's going to have. That's the only version of you that's going to be able to have all the best things life itself has to offer you. So now, if you see that, what is really stopping you, bro? Because you can, I know, the work, the effort, discipline, motivation, all this stuff. I got you. Yo, Pillars of Man podcast. Oh God, that was a terrible plug. I can't help myself sometimes. My bad. But that's what I'm trying to, bring value towards. And it's not just me. There are plenty of sources out there that will help you with this. But you still need to make the choice. Not me, nobody. Maybe only God, the Almighty Himself. Because divine intervention is a whole nother level. That defies all the rules of existence. Besides that, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? God is super dope. It's just, I have to say this. I don't think it's appropriate for you and me to hold our breath and just be like, calling my nickname for God is Dad. Just like, Dad, save me. Just, I'm wilding out. I'm straight wilding out. I'm sinning. I'm doing, I'm being lazy and not really doing anything. I'm just scrolling like crazy, staring at very out of pocket, scantily clad material on the internet all the time. I get it, brother. Wow, amazing sights. No, but not conducive to you becoming the best version of yourself. And it's like, Dad, save me. It just doesn't work like that. Does God really come down from heaven himself to intervene and save you? Or did he, from the very beginning, when you were born, build into you capacities and capabilities that you were always able to summon of yourself to save you? That's why you have it. It's in you. The only way that you're not going to be able to activate and summon these parts of yourself, discipline, strength, belief, confidence, it just keeps going. That's where the fight begins, in the war between the good and evil that swirls cyclically inside of you. You have so many different parts of yourself. In modern terms, people are calling this self-sabotage. This is, I'm too self-aware. I'm too self-conscious. I am too selfish, self-centered. Problems born of the self. Problems that come from you, but they can be solved by you. That is where Yuji begins to understand, I have an incredibly gravely serious responsibility now, and there's no going back. He did it for a very noble cause, to save the life of another human being. I mean, not just any human being. That's his boy right there. I mean, this is the very beginning. I mean, they would go on to become very good friends. It's just he's understanding. I have to get stronger. I have to be able to better regulate my own emotions. I have to be able to do everything that a man who should be able to control and contend with Sukuna can be able to do. Thus, the training, the development of, was it Black Flash with the great Aoi Todo? Aoi Todo is, all right, actually my personal favorite. And in order to really get there, in order to really become better, because again and again, he faces the consequences of what happens when he slips. He's too weak for whatever reason. Sometimes it's not even really his fault, but the kid is he's kind of brutal on himself in this way. He doesn't really give himself that excuse. Okay, Sukuna's in here. He's not there in her, in him. No, it's me. So it's got to be me that takes the blame, that takes the full brunt of the consequences that happen. I think one of the, yes, of course, maybe you already know, you can guess where I'm headed. One of the most heart wrenching scenes. And maybe this is one of the moments where I really began to fall in love with Jujutsu Kaisen. Because what hooked me in the very beginning was, like most anime bros, the fights, the action. Okay? Jujutsu Kaisen at times is, oh my God, it's straight hands. Love it. I love it so much. I'm a huge fan of all of it. Martial arts, combat in real life, MMA, boxing. I love this stuff. So, of course, naturally, I love it in the fantastical world of superheroes and shonen animes and these these main characters who must evolve and train and struggle to continue combating with the ever growing and the ever heightening powers of evil. Like, I mean, that's what it is. There are more bad guys on the way. This bad guy seems pretty bad. It doesn't compare to the season finale bad guy of that. You know what I'm saying? Some solo leveling vibes. I had somebody comment that, and I was like, yeah, that's a really good point. It is. You do see it, but know who came first though. All right, just know who came first, right? Like One Piece, DBZ. There's a lot of OG grandfathers that these new kids on the block, these newer anime shonen shows are emulating. It's a trope when done well. It's timelessly fire. I freaking love it. So one scene, multiple scenes, but one scene where this anime just really made me feel. It didn't just make me feel, it kind of ripped my heart out. Was when Sukuna finally, after defeating Maharaga with his ultimate technique, he basically, I forget the actual terms, malevolent shrine. But here's the thing, malevolent shrine. Oh, I think it might have been. Help me out here. You feel free to comment this down below. It's been a minute, and he did bring out malevolent shrine against Maharaga so that he could like take this thing down. Because what a amazing fight for season 2. Maharaga was just season 2 or season. Oh, it's fine. Maharaga was just a perfect tool to take down someone like Sukuna. But I mean, Sukuna being the king of curses, he really showed up and showed out, and it just didn't matter. And it really ended up being this like nuclear bomb. Okay. People were completely, human beings evaporated. Like, this is just, in an instant, you're just gone. You just cease to exist. It's not like a kill or a shot or an impale or like, you know what I mean? Or like some sort of a more raw way of aggressively unaliving somebody. No, this was just a straight nuke. Half the city, most of the city, which had just simply disappeared, it vanished. And after that, I felt a little sick. I mean, for me, it was just done very well. I was very emotionally invested in Sukuna. If I remember correctly, his words were, enjoy this. It's like the same words Satan himself would use too. When when a man has completely given up on himself and he's become this walking, talking, living manifestation of just poor habits, terrible choices, no empathy whatsoever. Okay? There's no cherishing of other human beings, of other people. He really wanted Yuji he was like, take it all in. Okay? Oh, you're gonna love this. And then he finally, right, like he gets locked away again. Yuji regains consciousness and he's just staring at nothing. He's just staring at miles and miles and miles and miles because the technique was so powerful that it eviscerated everything. So he's just staring at miles of just perfectly smooth pavement. No buildings, no people, no nothing, no life. And he can't take it. He snapped. To me, in that moment, consumed by despair. And it's like, oh Lord, you really want to hop in the episode and hug the kid. Okay, because no human being should be dealing with something like that, but he is. And I think what I heard in his sobs, he's not just upset, oh my God, so many people. It was the fact that kind of pain, the way that he was, that ugly cry, that gut-wrenching cry, was that he blamed himself. Yuji it's the full realization, I'm how he did this. It was with me. I'm the vessel. I wasn't able to, for whatever reason, I could not bring him back. I couldn't hold him down, whatever. And he just put the full weight of those people on him. We see another glimpse of this, I believe, in the trailer for, I'm so excited, the trailer for the upcoming season where Yuji is like, it seems as though he's evolving and he's growing up. And from what he said, if I remember correctly, something along the lines of, and if you remember specifically, please put it down in the comments. It's just like, he was like, no more. I have to be different now. After witnessing the catastrophic consequences of what Sukuna is capable of, if he were to ever truly take over. Okay, please, no spoilers. I've only read the anime. I know, for all you manga heads, you're probably already like, oh, Kumo, you have no idea. Not yet. Not yet. I will catch up eventually. I'm not as big into the mangas. I know. It's like, what the heck? A true weeb is, write both, but I'm just an anime guy for now. I'm getting more into mangas though. So you might already know way in the future of where this is all headed. But for me, the anticipation for me is to try and see Yuji make it out on top. Like, I'm rooting for this kid like crazy. Do you remember way back in season 1 when Mahito and Sukuna, was it their first time meeting? It might not have been the very first time, but it was the first time that they saw eye to eye because they're both demons. That's what they are. They are both unique and individual embodiments of pure malice. And in the same way that king recognized king, devil recognizes devil. And so I was just They were shoulder to shoulder, and they were both laughing at the torment of Yuji. Okay, so me as the viewer, I was next to Yuji, looking at these two like, this is what, in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, this is what evil looks like. This is the nature. They'll always be like this. This right here will never change, And they drew. I love this in that scene, the anime scene. They drew Sukuna and Mahito laughing in a very similar fashion, right? It's like obviously the faces are different, but the way they were laughing is nearly identical. And for me, that was just because evil is evil in any form, no matter where you go, no matter how you're going to encounter it. And that was one of the maybe the first moments Yuji understood the seriousness of his situation, looking at these two buttholes and, like one of them in me, and then the other one I need to what is it? Capture or destroy the curse, seal the curse, whatever the term is for how you take care of these demons in Jujutsu Kaisen. That is the everyday responsibility that you and I are burdened with as well. You have to understand this about yourself. Any man that's gonna argue with me and say, I'm not evil, okay, Kumo is being very melodramatic. All this good and bad and evil. No, I'm just a person that lives. Like, I have a 9 to 5. I drive. Okay, I pay rent. I pay taxes. I like playing Call of Duty. Okay, it's really not that serious. He's violent. Okay, it's like, oh, I get it. Ooh, very dramatic podcast. I would do a double take. I'd be very careful around men like that who are outright saying, evil, what evil in me? That's how it wins. It's prevalent and it absolutely exists within all human beings. It's not even a gender thing, it's a human thing. But you see, through man, because of his natural and biological capacities for destruction, just the bone structure, the musculature, the aggression, the testosterone, if left unrestrained and uncared for, doesn't matter. That is a recipe for disaster. And it's that's where the situation is most dangerous. Because if you do not recognize that you have evil within you, I have evil in me, all men have their own. I believe there are some evils that are collective, but then you can have variations of individual evil. But to say it's not really within the soul, it's not inside the man, how could you possibly expect to fight what you don't acknowledge as real? It's just like a very, what was it? What is that? It's a religious quote having to do with Christians versus demons. What would a good burglar want you to know? He's in your house. And so when you acknowledge this and you take this fight into your own hands, and you, the first and foremost, you must take responsibility in the same way that Yuji did. Yuji was like, yo, I need to train. Okay? Yo, Toto, okay, let's go. Brothers for life. Now let's do this. Show me how do you do that thing? Black Flash, let's go. Like, he really understood. I need to level up. I need to get better because in my current form, I am simply too weak. I am not an adversary against evil. I would just be a tool. Okay, so you're when taking that responsibility for you is saying, when I allow myself to be lazy, when I allow myself to give in to temptation, when I make the wrong choice, I don't do what would help my life. I don't do what would help me grow, help me figure out the best situation to put myself in for success and for the things that I really want in life. And you allow yourself to stay mediocre. You allow yourself to waste more time. You allow yourself to be distracted. You allow yourself to lose more of your life to events, circumstances, and experiences that you don't even really want to have in the first place. That is where the manifestation of evil in a more modernistic sense happens. Absolutely. Because I believe never before has the modern man just possessed so much free time with himself. And I know that is very, very anecdotal on my part. That really comes down to who you are and the type of life that you're living. Because nowadays, tough times, brother, super tough times. And I'm right there with you. I really get it. 40 hours is the bare minimum. Not a lot of us are even 40 anymore. A lot of men, single men, 50, 60, 70. It's not a choice. It's that or homeless. It's that or skip meals. It's right. It's that or lights out for the last week of the month. It's just it's really crazy and it's very real. But no matter what, there is still going to be at least a little bit of time that a man can call his own. Right there is where the fight begins. Right there is where it happens. Because you're either going to seize that time and use it for what you need in this world, or you're going to let it go. And it's going to dissolve into temptation, desire, frivolous pursuit of, I don't want to say meaningless activities. That's very subjective. One of my favorite ways to relax is a good video game, is a good show, is a good movie. That's not meaningless for me. For me, that's time well spent when it's in a tempered, controlled, and balanced manner. But for a man that sees all there is to life are activities such as this, that there is nothing else to do, then that is allowing the unchecked parts of yourself that you are not, diving deeply enough into to understand, well, why is it though? When I know it's wrong, when I know it is evil, why do I continue to allow it? This is where the radical honesty you need with yourself. This is where you really need to take some time. And what's amazing about current times, excuse me, is your ability to search for answers, seek, look up, find information that is going to help you understand, yes, why. A lot of my own personally went back to PTSD, childhood trauma. A lot of stuff happened during my formative years that I never took the time to confront and understand. There have been prevailing relationships throughout my life with family members that just never healed in the way that they needed to. I never understood, why is this dynamic like this? Why is it always so negative? It's always so resentful. It's always so bitter. And it really began to rear its ugly head in all other parts of my life. It's so crazy in this way, just like Sukuna. If Yuji doesn't make sure he's got it on lock, Sukuna will take over and he'll wreak havoc, not somewhere, everywhere. It's the same thing when you have those demons inside of you and they're there. They're absolutely there, but that's a part of you. It's a part of human nature, I believe. You just have to take the responsibility to do combat with it. That's your job. That's the role that you can accept as a man in life. I have to fight my lazy tendencies. Try and build. You fighting is creating a schedule. You fighting is creating and building upon positive habits and routines that are going to serve you in the long run. A slow reverse, possibly, of a more healthier circadian rhythm from night owl to early bird. Because it's just going to make it a lot easier. Naturally speaking, for human beings, we are the freshest, we are the crispiest from morning to afternoon. In the prime time of sunlight hours, and trying to move your schedule into that on days off that you have, wherever possible, whenever possible. You're gonna really take control of your diet. You are what you eat, and the way that you nourish yourself is very important. And if you are able to get whole, organic foods into your body, less junk, less processed, less sugary, more water, etc., then that's really going to help you just show up better in your own life. Yuji's doing the same thing. Even off camera, I know. I mean, this is yes. I'm reaching deep into fan interpretation, but I mean that is what he is doing, though. We just see the fast forward. We're not going to actually. They show a little bit of it, right? A little bit, but we're obviously as a show, so that it literally doesn't last thousands and thousands of episodes. Oda, I'm literally looking at you right now. Then we're going to resume where that's what he did. He did put in the time, and he did put in the work, right? The time skips and whatnot. I mean, my prediction is when the new season arrives, we're going to see probably a more mature and a more rugged version of Yuji. I'm all for it. I'm excited. Maybe not, but I really wouldn't be surprised because that stuff is traumatizing. What he went through so far with Sukuna within him. It's absolutely mind-boggling that that the voice within him, oh, you need me. You're not strong enough. Okay? Step aside. Let me take care of this. Okay? Because you're too weak. Just your own inner voice. Okay? Whatever kind of inner, dialogue you might be having that's negative, that's telling you, what? You're cringe. You're so awkward. Why would you? What do you mean? Be social. No one likes you. They're not gonna like you. They're gonna think you're weird. It's just all this awful bull BS negativity that stops you from trying, because trying, brother, trying in life for anything, the attempt is exactly how you grow. That's why you need it so badly. That's why when you wake up and you try every single day, at least a little bit in areas that you need it. I really got to try to wake up a little bit earlier. Okay, you know what? I always do 10 a.m. I always do 10 a.m. I'm going to do 9:45. I'm going to really try to hit that 9:45. 9:45 becomes comfortable. You hit that 9:30. That's just the sleep schedule. That's just locking in more daylight hours for yourself for your day. Sorry, hours in the sun. This goes for everything. This goes across everything. And it builds up. These little things, these little seemingly trivial choices and decisions lead up to the really big, the ultimate ones that dictate how it all went down. Did I go for that career that I wanted? Did I end up finding her? Was I able to, have my own family if you know that you want one? Could I have cultivated this kind of experience? Could I have created work or found a job that isn't even really like that for me? I mean, it's hard. Everything's hard after a certain point, but this is what I know. This is where I know I want to be. And this is what I know I want to do. How different is that from dreading, loathing every minute that you were doing something you don't want to? You're doing it though, because it's paying your bills. I mean, that is just, I want to move into that so bad. I'm trying to make that transition in my own life right now. And I can only imagine what that would be like to pay your bills We all have bills. That's just a part of the 21st century. But to pay those bills in a way that you want to. It's okay. It's okay that I have to work this hard for this long every single day, because what I'm doing is this is what I'm here for. This is truly what I'm here for. You need to be able to, you deserve to find that for yourself and live like that in life. Remember, what is stopping you is your own personal devils. The evil that exists within you that would so tempt you and call you and drag you back to the same old, the same repeating circumstances that never change because of whatever, because you don't believe, because it seems so hard, it seems so difficult, it's very overwhelming. This is it. When you put it all together, this is in the fullest extent that I could verbally articulate. We are talking about the full force of evil that will always be prevalent in your life. Remember, that is not a bad thing, because when you recognize it for what it is, that is what brings you into the acceptance of the fight. It's there because without the fight, you wouldn't be able to grow. There would be nothing for you to transform and evolve into. There would be no great journey to traverse. There'd be no ultimate destination to savor, cherish, and enjoy when you make it. And that's why you deserve to take the time. You need it, brother, to thoroughly self-examine. In the same way that Yuji would, oh God, how he would meditate on the nightmares that Sukuna had forced him to go through. Okay? It's a part of you. It's a part of you. It isn't to be denied, and it absolutely is not to be ignored. Acknowledge it. Accept it. And contend with it. Fight with it gloriously. Bro, you're looking for another fellow doing the same. I'll be right here at the Pillars of Man podcast. That's kind of what I do. I talk a little about everything and anything that goes into God, anime, bodybuilding, philosophy, even movies, all aimed at helping any man become his very best version. Thanks so much for being here today, bro. Thanks so much for listening, checking all this out. You want to know exactly when my next episode launches? Excuse me. Hit that subscribe button for me. And you can follow me on whatever platform you're listening. Follow me so you can keep on getting this male self-improvement value and whatnot. And I hope to see you real soon for my very next one. But until then, take it easy. Take good care of yourself. And I love you so much. Peace.